this new episode. Today we will talk about beauty stereotypes, Instagram, and how this social media impacts in self-esteem. Are you ready? Well, I don't care, just begin. As you all know, Instagram is the second most popular social media in the whole world. Over 5,000 million active daily users shares 250 million stories each day. In 2019, as research shows that one user spent over 27 minutes per day on social media. Isn't this amazing? On the other hand, let's talk about beauty stereotypes on Instagram. What is a beauty stereotype, you may ask, right? Because, there is a random question and you should be questioning yourself about what is a beauty stereotype. Well, a beauty stereotype is a way of thinking in how a person should look like. For example, nowadays being skinny or be size 0 is a stereotype that everyone must follow.
Bueno, pues...
Give me an example if you want.
A few moments later, 1 eternity later, 3 days later, 12 seconds later, 3:28 a.m., 3 weeks later, many months later.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire.
La pregunta me lo vuelve a repetir, por favor.
Well, anyways, I'm gonna continue with this. Most of the beauty comes with consequences. Even though social media doesn't tell you this directly, most of the time they imply to you in an indirect way. Have you ever tried to think about this type of information and how every time you access to Instagram, you are implicitly attacked by many stereotypes? Let's think for a while.
6.5 hours later, a few inches later, day 2, day 3, day 4, a few moments later, 1 eternity later, 3 days later, 12 seconds later.
Okay, thumbs up. Last but not least, self-esteem. Self-esteem is an important topic that follows most of the time beauty stereotypes. Aren't you impressed?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Well, anyways, I am. And most of the time, no one talks about this topic. That's why we travel all the way to New York City in order to precede the Fashion Week show. Paula, Luisa, can you hear me?
Thank you very much, Daniela. So now let's talk about how we conducted this study. So basically, we make an online questionnaire only for women, and we send it through groups of WhatsApp, Facebook, or any other social media, so we could get as many responses as possible so that we could test our hypotheses. The questionnaire was based with 17 questions about their consumption of Instagram and their perspective on the socio-psychological influence of the media. Due to the pandemic, the questionnaire was not able to be in a person-to-person interaction, so we decided to make a Google Forms with the 17 questions, and we added an introduction to let the respondents know about our study. And to formulate the variables, we started by formulating questions we thought we could help us test our hypotheses. And we noticed that our questions could be divided because there was a relationship between social media usage and body self-perspective and body image, self-esteem.
Oh my God! Wow!
So we decided to make our variables as social media, body image, and self-esteem. And that's all. Now I will let you with Paola.
That's right, Luisa. Now, let's talk about the subjects that answer this questionnaire. The subjects for answering the questionnaire were selected by a group of contacts. The questionnaire was sent to different people so there could be more responses. Also, to have a better analysis, all responses with missing data were removed and were not considered in the final analysis. Responses from men were not considered either. The purpose of the study is to measure if women that have a major consumption on Instagram content charged with gender stereotypes have a lower self-esteem and body image issues in contrast with women that don't. This was measured with a selected subject responding to a questionnaire that gave the information related with these variables. The questionnaire of this research was answered by 69 people. 67 of them were females, 1 male, and 1 rather not say. For this, the whole 69 people were in the results, but the section that was used was the 67 females that answered it. Did you know that the principal variables in this study are the consumption of beauty stereotypical on Instagram content? Sadly, in this study, the subjects were not compensated for their time. To deal with any ethical issues in the beginning of the questionnaire, the purpose of this study was stated, how they answered, and how their answers were going to be used. Kept it anonymous and left a contact mail in case you have any concerns or want to know the findings of this research. Now, let's go to Belen, that's outside the red carpet, for more information.
Welcome. We are here on the red carpet to get to know a little more about the participants on the questionnaire. "87% are currently studying for a university degree. The respondents that had already finished their degree studies represent a 5.8% of our sample, and the high school students another 5.8%. Only one person, representing 1.4% of the sample, is or has already finished her master's studies. There were 46 people that represent 61.3% of our sample that spent more time viewing Insta stories. 20 people view more pictures than photographs. 7 see more reels, and just 2 people spend more time sharing pictures. Let me mention something like people use Instagram around 27 minutes per day. However, our results were quite different. 38 people answered that they use the social media app between 3 and 5 hours per day. And 37 people say they use it between 0 and 2 hours. That's more. But how is this affecting the self-image and self-esteem? Let's go to you, Juan Carlos.
Just like other industries, clothing and makeup industry has to do a lot of research on their customer to always be up to date. As it is, we also made a little research for this project. We found no statistical difference when using the chi-square test on daily Instagram usage and self-esteem. This is not congruent with past studies that have found, albeit using other measurements, of course, strong relations between these variables, Instagram usage and self-esteem. This may be explained by many reasons. For example, some of the limitations of this particular research. One may be that the sampling technique used is selective and as such is not random nor representative of the general population. Another possibility is that since respondents completed their test online, the questionnaire, and without supervision, there may be some percentage of unmeasured response bias, which is a phenomenon that occurs in psychometric research projects. We also know, considering that self-esteem is a multidimensional concept that can be subdivided, we also measured a specific score for body-related self-esteem. However, we did not find a statistical significant difference between daily Instagram use and body self-esteem. This is contrary again to what we hypothesized, as the literature suggests that Instagram content may influence body self-image and self-esteem in the selected age group,
La pregunta me lo vuelve a repetir, por favor.
which was mostly, women of young women who are, for example, studying at the university. Those were the big findings of our study. We did not conclude that there was a strong relation between Instagram use and self-esteem. However, we do believe that there is a need for more robust research on this topic, as it is quite important for the well-being and mental health of women all over the world.